So DuPont Chemical Company has been, they introduced in 2009 a new product that's different than Teflon, right? So Teflon is one of those non-stick stain-resistant products, and the PFOA, which is the industrial toxin used to make Teflon. So there's been years and years and years of litigation over this. So what happened then, DuPont in 2009 introduced Gen X, which is the slippery substitute, has now followed the path of the molecule it replaced, contaminating water near plants in West Virginia, North Carolina, and attracting its own legal interest. So this is from an article in The Intercept. So what happens, just to reiterate and be clear, so they had Teflon, a lot of litigation over Teflon because the PFOA in it is very harmful, poisons water, all different kind of research. It's done testicular cancer, kidney disease, all kind of links to it, right? So then they came up with Gen X, which is just great corporate speak, change it up, put a different label on it, and The Intercept got access to an internal document from DuPont that says it has many of the same health concerns as the original chemical, and it completely harms the environment and persists indefinitely. Like, it doesn't go away. It just keeps, and we've talked a little bit about how there have been people with contaminated water in North Carolina, similar to what's been happening in Flint, which is why also people were protesting the Dakota Access Pipeline. So this is a real issue. So what happened the last couple weeks, two citizens groups in North Carolina announced plans to sue Chemours, the DuPont spinoff company that now makes Gen X, over its release of the chemical from its plant in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The Cape Fear Public Utility Authority issued a letter of intent to sue both Chemours and DuPont last week over violations of the Clean Water Act and the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act over release of Gen X into the Cape Fear River, which is a source of drinking water for more than 250,000 people in the Wilmington area. A conservative group called Civitas also announced its intention to sue Chemours over Gen X. Both groups must wait at least 60 days after sending the letters before filing a suit. They're just pouring stuff in contaminated water. It affects 250,000 people. These corporations don't care about anything. The government doesn't seem to care about, I always ask, what is it going to take? Some senator or one of Trump's kids getting poisoned from drinking dirty water, Rex Tillerson going, oh boy, we should do something about this. What is it going to take? But I applaud that these two companies are suing DuPont. And I'll give you some more information about it. The legal activity adds to the pressure on Chemours over Gen X in North Carolina. On July 22nd, the U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District of North Carolina served the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality with a criminal subpoena to appear before a grand jury on August 22nd and supply all records pertaining to the release of Gen X into the Cape Fear River. Good. Put them all on trial. In West Virginia, where Gen X has been found in groundwater, though not yet in drinking water, attorney Robert Billett, who sued DuPont over PFOA contamination on July 28th, issued a stern letter to the West Virginia Department of Environment Protection requesting information about what the state agency knew about Gen X and when it allowed DuPont to release the chemicals into local waters near the company's plant in Parkersburg. Levels of Gen X in the water released from the plant into local water have been recorded in contamination as high as 278 parts per billion in some locations, thousands of times higher than the drinking water standards the EPA set forth for PFOA. Which is really disconcerting because the EPA is I'm glad it's there. It's better than nothing. There's countries that don't have an EPA, but man, the EPA buckles pretty easily. And their standards are not great in many, many instances. So if this is past EPA's flimsy standards, what does that tell you? And how dangerous and contaminated is this water? Just because we don't want to scrub our pots and pans a little harder? Is that worth it? I use stainless steel, man. I got rid of Teflon years ago. So it's this article goes into a little more detail. You can see the people, then the groups that are getting involved, and this is something I talk about a lot on this show. If you live in North Carolina, you should be paying attention to this if you're not already. And you should be paying attention to this wherever you live. Everyone should be rallying and resisting and filing lawsuits and doing everything they can to make sure that we have drinkable water. Because I don't know if the DuPont company understands that the human race can't survive without breathable air and drinkable water. So yeah, if everybody is dying, then there's no profits. It doesn't matter how nice your private jet is if everything's contaminated. Just kind of an FYI for the good gang up at DuPont. So thanks for watching the show. Go to the Patreon page, like and subscribe to the YouTube, and positive reviews on the iTunes.